Wow, what a day. What a performance. What a set of players. That's what I want to see. That's imposing your will. Again, I said it on the clip that I posted. I really need to now. Should we just delete April as like a calling month? Everybody, like, we should get a petition started for that. I'm willing to put funds up. I will start money, everything. Hey, listen, all we got to do Infantino's head one time, or whoever the FA is, to get FIFA. Anyway, that's beside the point. Good day out, baby. Good day out. My name is I'm Trip. What's good, everybody? Hope well. Oh my gosh. Wow. Arsenal 6 points ahead with 2 games already up and City, man. Wow. This was the type of game that some people probably been a little bit fearful of. Probably was a little bit apprehensive of, given the attacking woes and the technical level that was required to really get at a team like this with the mid block, and again, just really get through a tough test at this point, where, you know, the form and performances wasn't always there. But man, oh man, were so many things shut down today. So many talking points just closed out immediately with the performance of the boys today, man. Just wonderful stuff from top to bottom. Wow, wow, wow. Let me just take a deep breath with me. Oh my gosh, what a performance, man. That first half was crazy. I can't believe it. Okay, let's get into it, man. Listen, the goals come from Viktor Gyökeres in the 9th minute after some wonderful play from Bukayo Saka to absolutely drop Raul Jimenez on his ass and then get right to the byline, ball right down to feet, cutting across the box. Gyökeres is first to spring to it. In the 40th minute as well, some great work from Viktor Gyökeres to really get a smart run from Bukayo Saka. He gets into the box, shoots near post, bang, bang, wonderful 2-0. And at the 45th minute, a ball that is sprung. I can't remember who sprung that ball off, but Trossard got to it at the end. Saw a great cross into Viktor Gyökeres, who heads it in to the far post, I guess. Well, he was his near post. He was probably more to the left, but he catches the keeper the wrong way, and that's 3-0 to the Arsenal in the first half. Absolutely blew Fulham away. They had not a foot in this contest. Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to start with the lineup today. There's so much to get into, and I don't want to take up too much time, but I want to start with this lineup. In terms of just looking at the attacking impetus, again, the intent, who will come up with the moments. Those were the 2 things that I said, I think on Twitter not too long ago. Who will have the intent and who will come up with the moments? And that is the equation that helps us get through the end of the season to get to where we need to be. Now, obviously, one big thing that has impacted us is the health of the squad and not being able to have enough technical players to really keep that flow going. But we saw an Eze, we saw Bukayo Saka back, we saw Calafiori back, and Leandro Trossard on that left-hand side was firing again. The lineup was fantastic top to bottom, and that was typified by the inclusion of one Myles Lewis-Skelly. Now, I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus out here. I'm not saying that I'm some type of oracle. I'm not. I was just talking out my ass. I thought it was a funny talking point, though, to be honest. But in the back of my head, I'm like, maybe it actually is a tactic. Who knows? With Arteta, who knows what's actually a tactic at this point, bro? He could be breathing in a certain way, and it could be a tactic. I don't know. But at some point in November, I was like, dang, we aren't seeing much of Myles Lewis-Skelly. What if he's kind of being saved for the back half of the season to really get going and catch teams off guard with his ball carrying, with the strength that he has, with how he carries himself on the pitch? And that could be a differentiator for how teams prepare for us. They might not be expecting that. Now, I really wish, and I said this I was on a stream with Egal Talks Football. Shout out to Egal. I really wish that this trap card from Yu-Gi-Oh was played earlier, because with how Rice and Zubamendi were flagging, this would have been a huge boost to at least get something through, get something in. I still knock points off for Arteta across this season for not employing Myles Lewis-Skelly a little bit earlier. And he said in the post-match interview he was tough on him across this season. He really wanted and just be tougher on him. And I'm curious of the reasons why. I'm curious to get that know-how. We might not ever get it, but that's there. But that was a bold choice still. With Zubamendi, again, ready to go at some point, ready to be willing and running again, this was something that was different. If you need technicians, if you need a different look to break through the mid-block with carrying, with passing, Myles Lewis-Skelly is somebody you have to consider. It's somebody you have to consider, and I thought that inclusion was brilliant. I thought it was high time, well overdue, and he absolutely bossed it. He was a part of, again, a lot of the great talking points that we can get to across this game, man. I mean, shoot. Listen, you know what? I'll do this. I usually do this on the fly, but I'll try and map it out as we go. I'll try and keep myself honest here. I want to talk about some of the tactical things that I saw. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not no tactical, but listen, I liked some of the things that were happening, especially with some conclusions and lineups there. And I want to go from defense all the way up to attack in the positives and great things that I saw today. Maybe a couple of negatives too, but really there's only like kind of one like point, but it wasn't even really an point because there was some positive contribution in some way. So really just the positives from bottom to the top, and then I'll get out to my standout players. Let's do that. Big tactical tweak that I saw, and maybe it was just the freshness of Myles Lewis-Skelly that helped do that, and maybe just the understanding of it. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe it wasn't even really a tactical tweak. It's probably just the employment of Myles Lewis-Skelly in Zubamendi's role. But again, the pivot of Declan Rice and Myles Lewis-Skelly, and where I didn't see it as much, both of them had more similar functions than I think Rice and Zubamendi have, or at least I have seen based on their tendencies of what they've done over the past few. At the same token that Declan Rice would drop into the back line in between the center backs, would pick up in the first phase, would try and see what would happen and parlay from there, and then maybe Zubamendi would stay a little bit higher. Myles Lewis-Skelly, what I was noticing, please correct me if I'm wrong, I saw him do similar functions to Declan Rice. He would drop into the line of center backs. He would pick up in the first phase. That would give Declan Rice more license to get forward. That would open up the central spaces. I think what we saw today in combination with Eberechi Eze, with Ben White, with Bukayo Saka, with Trossard, with Calafiori, was a lot more penetration through the middle spaces, through the mid block, the rotations, getting Fulham all over the place, 6s and 7s and stuff like that, and it created more lanes for people to carry and just a lot more options and variety to progress the ball with pace, at speed. And I think that tactical tweak, I'm back to saying tactical tweak, but I think that tactical tweak was really needed against this mid block to, again, get them off their kilter, try and commit them to presses in different areas, get them all, again, create gaps, and then exploit those gaps when they're there. And I thought Myles Lewis-Skelly and Declan Rice did a great job of that, knowing when to go, knowing who's going to fall back, who's going to press forward, knowing when to support that, and have the extra number nearby, so in case that run isn't on in central spaces, they can get on, offload the ball, and then keep it moving and pushing. I thought that was really good. I thought that was really good stuff. And I think beyond that, I think it was just more comfortability and dynamics between the players. I think it was just like relational stuff. Like, one thing that I noticed a lot, and people pointed this out as well, Bukayo Saka on the pitch obviously it makes us better in so many ways, damn near every single way. Because how many balls that Ben White and Saliba sent straight down, grass cutters through the midfield, just straight ball to feet for Saka, or into the channel for Saka, or Gyökeres is going to overlap, and the smarts to hold the ball, the strength to hold the ball and carry on from there and win territory. There was a lot more central just penetration, pause for lack of a better word, with passing, with the channel runs. Well, not necessarily channel run, sorry, that's like more for the upper third of the pitch really, but so running into central spaces from Calafiori, from Rice, we saw it a whole lot. Even Saliba had a couple of whacks at it, if I'm not mistaken, but that was key to breaking down the mid block that Fulham were trying to employ in the press from there. I think beyond those two things, our counter press was brilliant. Our counter press was fantastic today, man. Again, they had their moments. They were pushing forward again, like even when we lost the ball back, it just a commitment, a fresh Trossard. Again, I think Trossard was probably typified this for me as well, where he was just really committed to getting on to Emil Smith-Rowe, to again Harry Wilson, just to make sure they didn't get anything, they didn't get anywhere. And again, just commitment across the team, where one person dropped, another person picked right up, double team, and make sure where the spaces are, again, like just narrow. Almost virtually every single attack where Fulham had it and got closer to the ball, we had so much commitment and intensity in our defensive structure that they just had to pass back and reset. They only had a 0.43 XG. That was a committed performance from a defensive perspective, just totally dominant. in what we did in the first half of the season incredibly well, especially again around like September, October, November time, mitigating teams to absolutely nothing and having the guile, the technical quality to create chances, progress the ball, and move around almost at will. And I think those are some really, really good just tactical characteristics of the game that I saw that were very helpful. I think beyond that, everything else was just like execution, just like the comfortability with each other and just the execution and the zip around the game. At an individual level, I just saw a lot more intent and speed on the ball in terms of conviction with their decisions. Especially on the counter. Oh my goodness gracious. On the counter, we actually looked crisp. Wow. How many times this season I've been begging, please just be crisp on the break. Please just like have some gusto with you on the break. Do it, please. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. And we saw it. We saw it, man. So many good, again, runs being tracked into space. So much understanding between the people who are, again, the primary ball handlers in the first and second phase down to the runners who were making things happen. There was so much good stuff. There was so much good stuff in that. And again, the execution levels were top, man. I love it. They were seeing the runs from Gyökeres and Saka. They were picking things up well. They were supporting each other with just like the second runs and the extra options. You saw it on the right-hand pod. I think it happened on left-hand pod as well, but you saw it, again, it was epitomized in that right-hand side between Gyökeres and Saka, those little passes, deft touches, getting back and around each other. Ben White was involved in that as well to some capacity. It was wonderful. It was really, really good. I think that performance, that was overall, that might be our best performance of the season so far. I mean, you could say Bayern 3-1. I thought that was a really good performance as well. This one's up there. That first half specifically is our best half of football in the season, hands down, in my opinion. The total performance, I will say for the second half, again, obviously we're managing players, we're managing fitness, and we want to continue and maintain the lead and contain things. We did a good job of managing the game, keeping it quiet, and seeing it out. Wonderful job of that, where it hasn't always been the case in seasons prior, not even this season, earlier. And we did a really good job of just seeing the game out, which I appreciated heavily. So wonderful stuff on that front. And yeah, the rest was just execution stuff, man. But let's go from, again, bottom to the top, man, real quick. Really quickly, David Raya, I thought he did really well today. I think a couple of things that went his way, not much to deal with, but a couple of things he handled. Really just poised, just watching out for the press, good distribution overall, good stuff. Ben White, defensively, not at the races. And I think we can understand at this point it's probably a little bit of a glass cannon situation. But what I really, really enjoyed about Ben White, where I can't say I'm like, damn, I wanted to get him off from Mascara at some point because the game was wrapped, but when we were in that attacking flow, he was still part of that, man. The Bukayo Saka Ben White relationship was really good. The link ups with, again, Declan Rice, Eze, whoever's coming near just to make some things happen. Gyökeres was involved in that as well. I thought Ben White, from an attacking standpoint, again, helps us flow so much. I don't think he was as pronounced as he usually is, but still, those little bits helped. Those little touches there were really helpful. And I appreciated the offensive camo, the defensive cameo, not so much, rather. Gabriel, I thought that was one of his most dominant performances of the season, like, so far. I'm stumbling over my words, bro. This joint is so good. I felt like Mace as a pastor, and this word is so good. You gotta get this word. Yeah, I'm just so excited to give it to you. Listen, never mind. If you know the reference, you know. But yeah, Gabriel, dominant performance. Absolutely was ragdolling Raul Jimenez. He had nothing. Raul Jimenez had nothing to go off of or give. Great performance on the ball as well, with some great, again, chipped passes, clip passes. Progressive passing has been really, really good on him this season. The improvement, the progression from our center backs, which people have been crying out loud for a minute now. The improvement this season has been great. Significant steps taken from Gabriel in his progressive passing and Saliba in his progressive carrying and progressive passing, in my opinion. Great to see. William Saliba, the silent killer. 99 out of 100 times you will not notice he's there, but he's doing his job to such a high level that you will not even understand how good he's doing. From a defensive perspective, rarely misses a beat. Whatever was coming his way, he was handling. I think it was, again, covering for Ben White when Chukwueze got free. I don't even think ML Smith-Rowe even went to the side. He didn't even bother. I think it was mostly that, and maybe like Robinson and Bassey might have had some runs around there. But again, that's just stalwart defending. And then on the ball, I think he must have, again, really enjoyed Saka being back, because the passes through the middle, just blade cutters, making things go, just just going, man. His performance on the ball was top as well. You never notice how good he is because he plays such a high level. It's a preventative. It is such a preventative, bro. You're gonna forget it's there. It's doing his job. It's just the silent killer, bro. The silent security system, man. Moving like ADT, bro. He's doing his thing, bro. Absolutely. Calafiori, point blank, we missed him. We missed him immensely. And shout outs to Pierre Nkapie for holding it down in his own way. And I did say this in a video where, in his own way, he's holding down that left back position from the absolute defensive, again, solidity and aggression he holds. But in possession, this is where Ricardo Calafiori is so needed and is so missed. What he does in dragging people around, dragging defenders wide, upsetting, again, just positional setups from the defense, making things happen on that front, and just being, again, that maverick on the ball. Miss that dearly. Declan Rice, I thought he did, again, really, really well today. Again, the partnership was just flowing with him. Good passes, good duels, just making things happen. Again, just copy-paste half of the stuff I said across the season about his performance. That was really solid. And he got some rest. Mwah! Beautiful. Myles Lewis-Skelly, I'll get back to him in a second. Let me see. Leandro Trossard, bro. Anne Hathaway must have been watching, and Calafiori's at your back, bro. You must have felt like you was on top of the world. You was on top of the world, brother. You had to have been, man. Again, the touches were crisp today. The effort in the press was crisp today. His influence in the final third was crisp today. I wish he shot. There was like one or two instances where I wish he would have shot a little bit more, just get it off quicker. Not shot quicker, but I think put a little bit more oomph in his shooting quality, because I know he has it. But overall, that was the Leandro Trossard that helps me feel safe when we are on the ball and looking to make things happen. That's the Leandro Trossard that Anne Hathaway loves. That's the Leandro Trossard that I love, damn it. That's the Leandro Trossard that I love. Keep that up. Eberechi Eze, not too much to say about, again, standout moments or instances, but again, helps us play so much more fluidly. And for one thing, we can give some credit for his involvement in the press has gotten better and better and better and better as the season has went on. His understanding of where it fits and how he's, again, just kind of deputized that area from Martin Odegaard, just kind of pressing from the front, did well in that as well. The fluidity and the concentration that he helps bring is so important. So important. Got to keep him fit for these last few games. Love to see it. Bukayo Saka. All of you that said he was washed, bro, we need to have a chat, bro. I'm going to get you into interrogation room. I'm going to make sure that you're handcuffed. And I'm going to make you take that lie detector test just to make sure that you wasn't fronting. And if you weren't fronting, you getting the belt. But if you were fronting, you getting 2 belts, because that's crazy, bro. How can you say this on Bukayo Saka, bro? Managing that Achilles injury was the toughest thing that we had to do, because we were missing our absolute spark on all fronts, right? From an attacking standpoint, from a territory winning standpoint. He is him. You could see it. It's evident. The players around him feel confident giving the ball to him, bro. They send anything his way. Like, man, he'll be up there. You get it. Don't worry about it. He is him. The absolute guile, the smarts. I can't remember. I think it might have been Uzumaki Tony on Twitter who like showed like the clip of it. But like when he was going in for, I believe it was his goal. He's on the outside of Anthony Robinson, waiting. At the very last second, switch the run. Gyökeres gets right inside, and he gets the ball to him. Bukayo Saka finishes. That's what it's all about. That's what the intelligence, the poise, the inevitability of the torturer Bukayo Saka, bro. For all y'all that said crazy stuff on his name, y'all are on fraud watch. Y'all jumped out the plane early, and there's no parachutes. Stay on that side. Anyways, Viktor Gyökeres, another one. 21 goals in the Premier League. 21 goals. I lied. In all competitions. I think it's in all competitions, but 14 goals in the Premier League. Let me correct that. 21 goals in all competitions. How many more goals than Joao Pedro, Ekitike, Isak, all these names, all these different players? The worst striker in Arsenal's history, that's rubbish. That's stupid. Stupid, bro. He is not the perfect technical player. He's not Van Persie. We know that. Neither is Havertz. He's not Van Persie. But what Gyökeres brings is a level of effort and a level of just, again, dogged mentality that if you put technical players around him and you give him the ball, you put the ball to his feet and you let him pounce, you let him move around, you let him get in advantageous positions, he's going to find a way. He's going to find a way. Found it for the first goal again. Ball to feet, first to pounce, boom. Positions himself well for the second goal at the end. Leandro Trossard there, positions himself, found himself physically in a position of advantage, boom, header. How about that for aerial duels? How about that for aerial capacity? There we go. And on top of that, the all-round play, that was wonderful today. The hold-up play, a huge point of contention where he was flipping and flopping across the first half of the season. People didn't know what was going on. He's finding a way to adapt a little bit more and understand where his game was. And the hold-up play was incredible today. Super solid today, man. The link-up play, as much as it came from that hold-up, he was winning things, flicking things on, sending people, again, around that. The awareness of the team, but not only to that, but his efforts on top of that helped create that moment of danger, these moments of just momentum that were added on top of time and time again, and the assist to boot for Bukayo Saka. Say what you want, run your mouth. We need every last player, and these players can go levels above than what you think they are. If you're doubting them, if you're slandering them, saying they shouldn't play for the badge or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Listen, with the injuries that we've been through, with the adaptation to the league, with the understanding of taking the time that, again, players have to gel to new entities and new entities have to gel to those players. Team has to figure it out, and they were figuring out. They were sending them on channel runs. They were sending it up, and we had the technical players around us to have a variety of ways to approach the game, whether it be through the build-up to be a little bit calmer, send the ball up so it's not just root one every time, and Fulham's prepared for it. We had the options. We had the variety in our attack. We had the intent, and then we had the different routes to get there, and we used everything. We used multiple options to make it happen, and that makes us dangerous. That makes us dangerous. That was a game today, bro. Big ups to Mikel Arteta. That's a 10 out of 10, bro. It's a 10 out of 10 game today. Again, I wish some of the subs weren't born offside. I'm mainly talking about Gabriel Jesus, but it is what it is. But the subs came good. They did what they had to do. Got everybody off early. Bukayo Saka played a half. He's ready for next game. Eze got some timeout, ready for next game. Viktor Gyökeres ready for next game. Declan Rice got some timeout, ready for next game. This is what we want to see, bro. Managed the game well. Saw it out. 3-0. Clean sheet. Boom. Wonderful stuff, man. My man of the match. Man, I could give it to a whole lot of players. There's 4 that definitely stand out for me. But I'll say, just for the occasion, the day, and playing the full 90 minutes as well, I want to give it to Myles Lewis-Skelly. I think very close behind, you can give it to Bukayo Saka and Viktor Gyökeres easily for 2 goals and an assist, and then, of course, a goal and assist. But I'm going to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Why not? And Myles Lewis-Skelly really deserves it for the time that he has been patient this entire just season so far. Dealing with whatever he's been dealing with behind the scenes, Arteta being tough on him having to lock in training, what have you. This is a huge turning point in adding a little bit of something different into the team at a critical point in the season. And if he's that impetus that helps us get over the line, that helps add a different picture, that helps catch somebody off guard, that helps us make a moment, and helps us establish the intent that we need to win these last 5 games of the season, then that's what we got to do. That's where we're at. And I'm glad he is in. So that's where we're at. But let me know what you thought about the game in the comment section below. Your favorite goal, performance, player, all that stuff that we need to improve. And let it go to come on Tuesday. But we'll see what happens with all that. Wow. Let me know in the comment section below. But 5 games to go. Need every last player, every last supporter. 12th man. Lock in, bro. On one accord, please. On one accord. There's no time for agendas. No time for the tomfoolery, bro. I get the banter. I'm a partake in it too. But not now. We're so close. We're so close. Lock in. Believe and be on one accord. Impose your will, man. My name is Full-Time Trip. That's all the time that I got. I'm losing my voice, but I'm about to go get some cheesecake and a beer because my birthday tomorrow. I'm living good right now. I'm living good, man. Let's keep it going. CLYJ. Peace.